As Provost of the University, it is my pleasure to introduce three members of the class of 2015-2016 who will be offering remarks this afternoon. They will be speaking in the following order: Kristopher Pittard, Marie Gitlin, and Konje Machini.
President Zimmer, Dean Boyer, honored faculty, friends, and family, and fellow members of the class of 2016, for what has to be about the millionth time today, I'd like to congratulate us all. Regardless of where you came from or where you're going, graduating from the University of Chicago, graduating from college, is an incredibly impressive achievement, one that we should all be proud of. So congratulations to us, today's class of 2016. And we really are today's class of 2016. We are not the same group that came in 4 years ago. We're not even the same class as 1 quarter ago. Some of us have been here for 3 years, hashtag overachievers. Some of us have been here for 5, maybe even more. Some of us transferred, some went on leave. 2 people who should be here this afternoon passed away. So if we can't even say that we all spent the same 4 years here, what can we say that we have in common? There is no such thing as the UChicago experience. What was quintessential for someone could have been peripheral for someone else. My UChicago experience was defined by booth and went houses, and by basically being a band dork. Other people will look back on their time here and see it dominated by sports, RSOs, economics, or truly embracing the city of Chicago, or just living in the reg. So what on earth do we all have in common? I think maybe, just maybe, there are 3 things. We all came here, we all did the real-life equivalent of the Facebook wow emoji the first time we saw Dean Boyer's mustache, and none of us ever read a word of doing honest work in college. I never even got the book. But let's talk about that first one. Even though all of us chose to come here for different reasons, we were all here. We have all lived UChicago with each other. When I look out at this crowd, I see people who have done incredible things, whether they wrote a brilliant essay, made a real-life Patronus for Scav, or just got 8 hours of sleep every night. I know that there are even more of us that I never had the pleasure to meet. I think it's important for us to remember that we are all that incredible person to somebody else at this school. That by virtue of being here today, we have all done incredible things, no matter how visible they were on campus or how many Facebook likes they got us. Because as we celebrate today, we also look towards the future. I think all of us with some mix of excitement, nervousness, and wondering if people in the real world are going to think it's weird when we talk about Marx. But after years of living the life of the mind, how do we carry that life forward into the real world and give it meaning? How do we transition from oftentimes decades of preparing to make a difference to actually beginning to make that difference? Because as Uncle Ben pointed out to us 2 Spider-Man reboots ago, with great power comes great responsibility. And I think that the responsibility that falls to every single one of us is to figure out how to take what we have learned here and use it to help make the world a better place. Now, the way that each and every one of us does that is going to be completely different. It may be someone figuring out a way to solve world hunger. It also might be someone figuring out how to help someone struggling with their identity. It could even be helping to teach a classroom full of 4th graders or 4th-year college students. It's probably more in common with those 2 groups than we'd like to admit. And yes, finding our way to do good in this world will be incredibly hard. But so was everything else that we've done here. And after years of seeing all of us make the impossible into the routine, I don't just think we can do it. I know we can. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Graduation makes the short list of big life moments. At this time of year, this particular milestone, the graduation section at the Hallmark store, is at least as big as, let's say, the new baby section. It's funny how Hallmark has a monopoly on memories. There is no Hallmark sentiment that adequately sums up our time here. There's no "sorry it was so cold at summer breeze" card, though on a day like today, that seems like a blessing. There's no "what humor you in" card for first years to send one another flirtatiously. There's no card that says "roses are red, violets are blue." I think it's 7th week, but it could be 8th week too. Nor should there be. Those would be terrible cards. 50 years from now, when you find a box of graduation cards in your basement, you'll know that "congrats, you did it" doesn't tell the whole story of what you did here, but I'll give Hallmark a break on that one. It's hard to think of anything that could. Graduation happens neatly within the confines of this ceremony, but college happens messily in vaguely remembered bits and pieces that resist orderly cliches. The particulars of this ceremony may just go the way of blurrily remembered scav items, frantically completed soc papers, and all the math that we humanities majors learned in high school. But, that's okay, because I can think of at least one thing that we'll all remember about today. The stupid hat. Why on earth is it so poorly engineered? Maybe now that we have an engineering school, we can figure out on a molecular level why these plastic death traps won't stay on our heads without bobby pins, super glue, and wishing really hard. But maybe that's wishful thinking. Maybe graduation cap technology has progressed as far as it ever will. But maybe someday when we're scanning the impossibly immense databases inside of our heads, we will be struck by the remembered feeling of plasticky satin against skin and say to ourselves, "Ah yes, that was what graduation was like." Yes, these hats are weird and uncomfortable, but memory isn't always easy or comfortable either. We have milestones like graduation and symbols like the cap and gown to help give structure to the stories we tell ourselves about ourselves. But the stories that make it onto our college curriculum, that's not because they have a structure, but because they in some way change a structure. Aren't your most memorable college stories not the ones that fit neatly onto a Hallmark card, but rather the ones where you felt something inside yourself change in some small but important way? It's easy to remember Cobb Hall as a pretty building, but its ivy-covered walls are far less important than all the tiny ways that you changed inside those walls. Imagine that you hold in your hands an envelope. You rip it open and take out the card that dwells inside. The front is blank, so you flip it over. But the back is blank too. You open it up. It's blank. Consider graduation a blank Hallmark card. 50 years from now, what you'll have is what you write in it. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you. So, there's a cat that lives in the alley behind my apartment. It's a really fat cat, and so I've taken to calling him Bernie. Madoff, not Sanders. Needless to say, this is not the type of cat you want to take home to your parents. But, even with all his flaws, Bernie has become a familiar face, something expected. I wouldn't pet him, but I don't mind when he eats my trash. And I'd be sad to see him go. So to borrow an idea from a friend, Bernie is a part of my community. Community is a really weird thing in college. From the moment O Week started, we all got real busy doing the work of finding it. By the end of O Week, you're golden, you've got it. Rest assured, by 5th week, it could look very different. Now, Fast forward to your second or third year. Maybe you're leaving your dorms for an apartment. You're excited to live on your own, but you're afraid that you'll have to start over again. You'll miss your housemates, even the weird one who ate grilled chicken breast for every meal at Bartlett. They too were a part of your community. So, eventually, you start to fill out the old contours and maybe some new ones. Community is always something you're working at. It's never a finished project. Community morphs, shrinks, and grows. It is built and it is shattered. In triumph and achievement, we celebrate the community. In tragedy and loss, the community mourns. Something we've had to do too often this past year. And while you may not be connected directly to these moments, it's community that amplifies our joy, and it's community that supports us in our grief. It is within these moments we can see the fruits of our labor in creating community. But if all goes according to plan, in a few short moments we'll receive our diplomas. So then what? What community do we belong to now? I think this question is familiar to most graduates and most anyone in a time of transition. I myself am a bit terrified of having to start all over again. New city, new job, no friends, a week with none of the free swag. So I think really what I've been trying to point to is the way in which community always remains to be defined. The process of creating it is the work of defining it. And we've had 4 years of not just theory, but of actually practicing what community means. So, in a sense, leaving this school, we aren't really starting from nothing. We get to leave here and continue redefining and expanding our community so that it can be so inclusive as to have room for strange alley cats. And part of this work of defining community is fighting for community, even if that attracts the attention of those in charge, and even better, the New York Times. So, we all get to and have to do this work. You probably came to college hoping to find a community. Maybe at this point you've had some practice building one. So, congratulations, class of 2016! Woo! We finally made it, and I think that's really something to celebrate. It was not easy, this was no small feat. And so here we are, done, mostly. But before we go our separate ways, and because we clearly haven't had enough homework already, I wanted to leave us with one last assignment, the quintessential Soc essay prompt. Define community. Thank you.